Welcome back to Enthador, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dwarf Fortress version 0.42, and we are the Fortress of Sandpillar. And the goblins, man, they just will not quit. They took a short break for Christmas, I guess, and now it is January the 1st, or not January, the Dwarven equivalent of January the 1st, of the year 154, and they have returned. We knew it was going to be hot and heavy in Sandpillar. We knew being right next to the capital of the enemy was going to be a tough row to hoe, and we were right. So, a foul force of darkness has arrived. What the heck? Okay, enter. Let's close that window. Alright. Why is my screen like this, though? That is a question that I have. Oh. Okay. Okay, that's a bit odd. Ah, there we go. Okay, so, what do we got here? Come on, what do we got here? We currently only have a few goblins, nobody of importance. So, let's profile a dwarf before the attack actually happens. And while I'm at it, let's introduce some new folks. So, we now have Bill Hilly, and I'm sorry, Bill Hilly, but already, after just entering the fortress, you're now going to die. And that's because you needed to create an artifact, you needed bones. And I think there's a bug or something, because I have bones all over the place. And he had access to them. I have bones of my enemies, like goblin bones, troll bones, but I also have just like reindeer bones. So why he couldn't make his artifact is beyond me. And it's really a shame, because look at him. He's an 11 furnace operator, a 13 high master armor smith, and a master metal crafter. So we could have totally got some awesome metal crafts, which would have been worth a lot of money. But unfortunately, he's going to die. Sorry, Bill Hilly. But then we have Brint Gingerbear, Deep Sea Diver Man, Grim Krimic, Hasun Ironbeard, Isomore, Kaladin, the Hugh Kuru, Arlen Glinteyes, Azrael, Darkness, Enderling, Hargrim Ironhell, Matthews, and Richmond. And I think that's Hargrim Ironhelm. But they take away the M, because they hate me. Anyway, of these guys, nothing too remarkable except for Arlen Glinteyes, who is probably the best doctor we now have in the fortress. Now, we already have a chief medical dwarf, but I have him on call as a doctor, and that literally is the only job I have him doing. And I think it will really help us, because we're getting tons of dwarves that are dying or being otherwise injured from tavern brawls, which is really driving me crazy, but it's just what I have to deal with, I suppose. So let's profile one of these little bastards. Alright, so we currently have up to how many dwarves? How many dwarves do we have? We have 139. Well, 140 it says here, but the first row is the question. So, let's go 140 and minimum of 2. 63. Okay, that's a ways up here. And by the way, we have about 330 names total, so many of you are not going to show up until the next fortress, but that's okay. And my plan is, once we run out of names, to redo this whole thing and let everybody go and pick another name. The only rule is it has to be a different name, because remember, in many cases your previous dwarf is still existing in the world. 63 is Enrico Beefsteak. That is an awesome name. I like that name. I mean, I like them all, but that's really good. Alright, Enrico. Enrico Beefsteak is unassigned and is currently storing an item in a stockpile. Enrico has a room. Enrico is the husband of JJJ Danny, who, by the way, is a legendary mason, apparently. Awesome. And also has Cogsack, Toulon, and Sarvesh, who are all listed as unassigned, so they have to be in the fortress. But okay, so yeah, Cogsack. Why don't you have a name, Cogsack? Are you like a child? I'm getting really kind of annoyed by all this. Cog. Or Cog, K-O-G. Cogsack, okay. Yeah, there's a Cogsack. Why aren't you named? Well, where'd you go? Cogsack. Ralrigoth. Arrived in the spring. Is there anything I should know about you, Cogsack? Let's see, you are 13 years old, so maybe you're just too young to be part of my fortress? I don't know, let's see, let's give you a... No? I can assign stuff to you. Maybe you just grew up? I don't know. But Cogsack is going to get a name. I mean, I don't see why not. So let's nickname Cogsack. Sorry, we're like... Wait, why does that show up as the... name? This is making no sense to me. Did someone actually name their dwarf Cogsack? Cogs. No, no one named their dwarf Cogsack. So why on earth is that? Whatever, I don't care. Moving forward. Next on the list is Daunt. D-A-U-N-T. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I name people. Commit. Alright, so let's go back to Dwarf Fortress. And let's see... Oh, yep, Daunt. The name is stuck. Alright, excellent. So let's go back here to the dwarf that we were actually profiling, who I've already forgotten. That was 63. Enrico Beefsteak, of course. How could I have forgotten that? Alright, Enrico. Moving on. And then there's Toulon and Sarvesh, and they're red, so I presume that they are children still, and that would make sense because they are both younger than Daunt. Alright. Older brother Ragnar is in the fortress as well. Aunt Brint Gingerbear and Aunt Augustus. Also Aunt Alessandro. Uncle Arstos Khan Inspector. Uncle Pecan, who is a legendary brewer. Neat. Uncle Drake Tutor. Sorry, there's no little dots over there. 2 more kids in the fortress. And cousins with Jaxi, Skeletorzar, Gendrick, Grim Krimic, one of our poets, randomly, Lorbam, from another civilization, Jurist Fathog, Corvus Corax, Olvar Stonesong, who is a legendary crafter, fantastic, Gwendolyn, and 2 more children. Alright, sweet. Quickly, let's take a look at... I want to spend some time with family. I'm lonely. Let's see. Uneasy after a lack of decent meals? That's crazy. We have tons of decent meals. He doesn't feel anything after not learning anything for so long. Lack of abstract thinking. He feels lonely after being away from family. But he's feeling pleasure after putting on an exceptional item, and pleasure after a satisfying acquisition. Let's see here. He is 29 years old, so pretty young. Actually, really young to have the children that he has. Let's see what he likes. He likes chalk, bismuth, cherry opal, saguaro rib wood. Okay. Giant otter leather, cabinets, gray langurs for their social nature, the words of the sable of truth, and the sound of the musical intricacy. And he prefers to consume steelhead trout, passion fruit wine, 2-humped camel's milk. Hey, maybe I should conquer. Maybe I should enslave one of those camels and get milk from it. And he detests rats, and he likes spelt flour. Alright, that's Enrico Beefsteak. Sweet. Okay. Alright, before we let the goblins go all crazy, let me show you kind of what I've done real quick. I have built... I think I might have already shown you my pigtail industry, but these are all pigtails, and this is a thread we're making out of it. And apparently we don't have enough dwarves in the farm service because they are not moving these threads quickly into becoming cloth. Up here... Whoa. Something died. Oh well. Up here we built a little tower with filled with bolts, basically, so that our dwarves can refresh their bolts. I made a decision not to have the firing range working, because either you fill their quivers with wood bolts, in which case when an actual enemy attacks they're not ready, or you use iron bolts for practice and you lose a lot of them. So neither option was something that I wanted to do. So I'm figuring they can just get their practice shooting at our enemies. And we're going to see this now for the first time. And anything else new here? We have a ton of furniture. We're smoothing the workshop floor. These, by the way, are all sandbags to make spikes. And that is the one thing. We have improved our traps a little bit. We've added a few of them. Not as many as I'd like, but enough. And then down here, we're starting to have spikes. So we have iron spikes here and green glass spikes here. And I'm making them basically follow one square away from the walkway because I'm pretty sure I'm seeing that that's where the enemies are falling. And here's all these just piles and piles of bones that I mentioned I had, even though our guys seem to have lost them. And because I'm just dragging this out for as long as possible, let's also look at some of our dead dwarf headstones. First of all, let's go with our enemy. There was one goblin lasher who made it into the fortress and killed numerous people, so he became legendary. Unfortunately, the game has huge bugs with slabs in honor of enemies, and as a result, you can't really see anything. It just says, in memory of Negerzung, and it just tells you their goblin name. It doesn't say what it means in English. Went missing in the year 153. They all say went missing, no matter how they died. Slayer of the dwarf Ilral Squeezing Chamber, one of our mercenaries, united with Steel. It doesn't even say who killed him, which kind of upsets me. But it's okay, because we have dwarven tombstones, and they tell the tale. So, this is an exceptional siltstone memorial to Alebeard, and it does not say what his last name means. I wish it did. He was born in 137, and he died of thirst in the year 153. He was creator of Defense Flickered. He is not actually the creator of Defense Flickered. He was trying to create it, but did not have bones. That's 2 dwarves now I've lost to not having bones. And he is at 1 with Fine Pewter. Okay, and then we have a memorial to Ninrek. Ninrek also... Well, actually, Ninrek succumbed to infection. He was slain by the dwarf Torred, sack-saved. So I love how they tell the English name of the dwarf that killed him, but not him. That's kind of lame. But that was in the year 153. Loving wife, or her, I should say. Loving wife, admirer of gems. Now, Torred didn't actually kill Ninrek, okay? Torred got in a fight with Ninrek at the bar, probably gave her a little scratch or something, and she just died of infection, which really bugs me because we're using clean water, we have decent doctors. I guess we just need soap, which unfortunately you cannot trade for, I'm pretty sure. You have to actually just trade for lye and make it yourself. So that's Ninrek. And then we have Dragon, in memory of Dragon Ubeltost. We don't know what that means, unfortunately. But here we go. Here's where we learn about the goblin. He was born in 76, struck down by the troll. Actually, this is not who the goblin, but he was struck down by the troll Stasost Maligned Mountain in Lake Tosp the Furious Sieges in the year 153. He was militia captain of the Flag of Striking. He was indeed. He is she, loving mother and wife, at 1 with aluminum, or as they say in England, aluminium. Alright, this is an exceptional siltstone memorial to Nomar Lapipnak. Now, Nomar was one of our auxiliary forces, one of our mercenaries. He was struck down by the goblin Negerzung Path Poison, the Frightful Urn of Malice. So that's the name of the goblin lasher. It was an iron scourge he was wielding. However, Nomar was the slayer of the goblin Asno Ghoulcarry, loving father and husband. If you're such a loving father and husband, then why did you decide to join up with Sandpillar? I don't know, but he really enjoyed Rambutan wood. Alright, moving on. So now we have a memorial to Melville Keskal. That's also a auxiliary. Born 94, struck down again by the goblin Stasost Monstrous Amazed. Actually, that's a different goblin, with a silver pike in the Fury Sieges in 153, but he did manage to slay the human Rono Crudwell, and he loved black bronze. Then we had Ilral Ikthagmafol, and he was struck down by the goblin, the Frightful Urn of Malice, with an iron scourge in the Fury Sieges, but he was also the slayer of Zasset Shiptombs, so at least they took goblins out with them. Oh, she, again, was a devoted mother and wife and a lover of crutches. Unfortunately, she was killed and not injured, so she never got to actually use a crutch. Alright, and this is Kosoth Likot Istrath. and this is also an auxiliary, of course, you can tell by the name. Born in 84, struck down by the frightful Urn of Malice yet again in 153, but managed to slay the goblin Reed Yell Twilights. And I think that's everyone that we haven't seen already. We've already seen Black Iron Tarkus succumb to infection because he was shot by Homer, or defeated by Homer. Not shot. Drive by. Homer just drove by. Smith Masters Jr. I think we haven't gone over him yet. He was also he was struck down by the goblin, the frightful Urn of Malice, in the Furious Sieges, an admirer of Bladeweed. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Smith Masters Jr. managed to kill anyone. Alright, so enough is enough. I've read to you all of the tombstones. It's time to get this show on the road. So, first things first, we are going to go to the military, we're going to go to alerts, we're going to tell our civilians to get inside, we're going to pull the main entrance, and actually, do we have dwarves outside? We might have dwarves outside. I mean, that's okay, they can go in the enemy's entrance, and that shouldn't harm them, but I'm just taking a look here. No, I guess it looks like everybody managed to get back inside. Alright, cool. Well, we're going to leave the enemy's entrance open, but we need to go now to the ground floor and just make sure that all these dwarves get inside. So let's do that. God, I hate that noise. Alright, so we are going to, unfortunately, lose a wheelbarrow. But that's not as bad as losing a dwarf. So we're now going to close our pit door, or pit bridge, I should say. And who are you, and why are you just... Get to safety, idiot. Oh, Bill Hilly, yeah. You're not going to listen to my orders, you're just going to do whatever. Also, I have dogs here. If you'll notice, they're kind of a last-ditch effort in case, like last time, we have goblins that make it in. But we're going to have something this time that we didn't have last time, and that is a capable and competent Marks Dwarf Squad. That's Fulgar's Ferocity. It's been increased to 10 dwarves. And then we have Throth's Terrors, because Throthgrim took over Dragon's squad, and Thorgrim, unfortunately, or is it Throthgrim? I'll look it up. And Thorgrim's Auxilia is just Thorgrim, so he is not going to participate in this battle, since he has no Auxilia to command. But we're going to get them, yeah, you guys are going to move here, and again, they have that whole little room full of bolts. So we're pretty solid. So real quick, let's just take a look at who makes up our squads at this precise moment in time. Give me one moment in time. Alright, here we go. So, in Fulgar's Ferocity, we of course have Fulgar Goresmash, who is our militia commander, with Yickley, Wombarl, Torred, Sharky Mouth, Caboose, Madium McFinney, Reinhard, Brint Gingerbear, and Dennis McBlarneybuff. In Throth's Terrors, our melee squad, we have Throthgrad, who's the captain. Then we have Fredivalda, Menedon, Kaladin, Ragnar, Hassun Ironbeard, Black Tweedy, Weavericus, and Sketched 2. And then, of course, Thorgrim. Thorgrim's Auxilia is just Thorgrim, the Reader. Alright, so our Marks Dwarves are getting up there. Everybody else is on high alert. We only have one entrance. This looks like another big invasion. A lot of lashers. I hate lashers. But not as much as I hate this noise that says the job's been canceled. Let's go to... I didn't want to do this because I'd be afraid I'd forget things, but we're going to announce no job cancellations just to get rid of that stupid noise. The problem is, of course, if jobs ever do get canceled that are important to me, I'm not going to know because I can't monitor the bottom of the screen constantly. Okay. Well, they are coming. They're coming, sir. They're actually coming very slow, probably due to the FPS cap. Or not the FPS cap, but the fact that FPS is slow. And they brought a lot of beat dogs, but they're not riding them. The first group was actually riding the beat dogs. Let's see if we have anyone decent here. Not really. Not really at all. 127. No experts here. No masters. You know, I don't know if it's just about this version or what, but I never get to see really cool guys like master, you know, hammer lords or sword lords or whatever. But here come our Marks dwarves. They're not enjoying the sunlight, unfortunately. But they are behind really good walls. And they're going to start firing soon, I'd imagine. Do we have enemies coming from a different side of the fortress? Because that does not look like 120 people. No? That's everyone. Yeah, interesting. Well, it looks like the fireworks are just about to start. And you're not seeing this. You wouldn't, but I have a little timer on my recording software that tells me how far we're into the video. And up there goes the dog, unfortunately. Yeah. But anyways, it's been turned off somehow. So I don't know how long this is taking, so I guess I'll stop in a little bit, but let's at least let the first salvo happen. Are you guys going to fire? I'd sure love it if you fired. Maybe the goblins have to be closer. Yep. Oh, dang. Here it comes. And we have plenty of bolts, so they should be able to refill. This is just going to be constant shooting the whole time. Beautiful. Alright, let's see what's going on down here. Okay, good. The spikes are serving their... Oh, yep, they're landing. That guy didn't land on the spikes, but that guy did. And he's still alive? Are you kidding me? Not only is he alive, he's completely fine. That's ridiculous. He didn't even get hurt. Maybe for some reason the fact that the bolt is on the spike, it somehow blunted his fall. That would be ridiculous, but our Marks dwarves are really making it happen, though. And every time they shoot, it doesn't even matter if they hit. Every time they shoot, they get better at Marks dwarfing. And this is all, of course, while they're dealing with sun sickness as well. Okay, we have some goblins just standing around. This is exceptional. These guys are doing fantastic. I keep hearing that damn beep. I thought I turned off notifications. Yeah, come on, stop this nonsense. Oh, actually, no, it hasn't. What's making that noise? Ah, yes, adding the Marks dwarfs to the equation has definitely made this defense a lot more successful. Pretty soon they're all going to be legendary. Unfortunately, similar to Anvil Quested, they're probably not going to get awesome names because you have to kill legendary enemies in order for that to happen. And I don't think any of the goblins are legendary. I mean, I know for a fact that nobody in this group is legendary, but I don't think any of the goblins, period, that come in sieges are ever legendary until they've killed some of your people. Alright, some of them are going away, which I don't know why they're doing that. If they need to refill bolts, they should go to that little tower I created for them. We're having an incredible amount of success here. Okay, here they come. Maybe they refilled their quivers. I want to see at least one of them go inside the tower. I didn't fill that thing up with bolts for my health. Yickily just went into a martial trance. This is amazing. I don't think anyone's even come close to making it in. And they're not firing back at us either, which is really cool. But I'm really sick of that noise. I don't know what it is, but it is driving me up a wall. Yeah, I mean, nothing's even happening in the sense of... Maybe this is telling me that they're fighting? Maybe that's the people are fighting noise? In which case, I don't know which developer of SoundSense thought that that was a good idea. It's going to be fun to look and see how many kills these guys have after this. They're doing quite well. Just unloading on these poor goblins. Hassoon Ironbeard has grown attached to his iron warhammer. And it looks like the siege has been broken, has it? Oh man, we lost a duck. Due to starvation, most likely. It being a new year and all. The siege has been going on for 6 days. We have suffered no casualties. No one's even made it close to our fortress. Although I'm really upset with this pit. I mean, come on. An 11 Z-level fall, which is the equivalent of, what, 11 stories, and the dwarf, or the goblin, doesn't even get hurt? Even with spikes? I mean, that's crazy. I'm wondering if, I'm wondering if there's some bug where if the bolt lands on the same square as the spikes, the goblin will, like, fall on the bolt and not the spikes, which will break the fall. Okay. Mark's dwarves are all gone. But here come 3 new ones. Luckily, the traps are still holding up. Alright. Oh, good. Here comes trouble. Nice. They're just kind of milling about. And, ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that we're probably past time now, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, but we will start the next video at the finale of the Furious Sieges. And it looks like this one is going to be run like a well-oiled machine, basically. These guys just don't know up from down. So, once again, I am Marcus Aurelius. I would like to thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.